Alestral's second official tournament of the Moonrise metagame is tomorrow, and a lot of people are still wondering, what do I need to prepare for? Hello, I'm Constellation Gaming, and today, rather than doing a decklist video or some gameplay footage, I thought I would use my experience topping multiple tournaments to help you out in figuring out what to look out for this weekend. So today, we'll be taking a look at the top 8 cards to look out for when trying to top 8. The first celestial that you need to look out for is Nobby. Nobby is extremely strong due to the fact that if you're not on Lunar or Solar, Nobby is essentially a 6 attacker because it subtracts all the attack from your opposing Alestrals. It doesn't only help itself get over combat and activate its own ability, it will also help your other Alestrals win combat too with its effect. Not only that, you can utilize Nobby's effect in tandem with something like Lunar Phase, Full Moon in order to enchant the Nobby during combat and give your opponents -2 attack, possibly forcing them to kill themselves on their own attack. Nobby's extremely strong also with the fact that it hard ascends or special ascends into Doppelganger when it destroys something. Doppelganger is kind of a pseudo 7/6 2-drop with its ability, and not only that, it's a 2-drop that will get to attack a second time, so as long as Nobby's able to kill something, you're pretty much able to kill 2 things the turn you drop Nobby, which is extremely strong for not only getting ahead, but also if you're behind, it is also really strong in that instance too. The next card that you need to be looking out for is Galaxy. Galaxy is extremely strong for multiple reasons. The first reason is the fact that it plays around pretty much every single counter rune that's played right now, with the exception of Gorgon's Gaze. And kind of Dense Fog due to the fact that it's making its way into the meta a little bit. Galaxy is also extremely strong due to the fact that it can pair with Nobby, since Nobby subtracts attack stats and Galaxy is not utilizing its attack technically for its quote-unquote attack stat because of the stat swapping mechanics. So Galaxy pairs extremely well with Nobby in order to make sure that you're not subtracting your own Alestral's stat line in order to win combat more frequently. The weakness of Galaxy is very easily suppression, so if you're able to suppress this card, you should be able to win a majority of the time against it. Cards like Spectaris are extremely strong against it, and even Toxiri with the fact that it can find Dense Fog, and then that Dense Fog plus Toxiri's effect will give it -2/-2, so it automatically puts Galaxy at a 0 attack stat. The next celestial you need to look out for is Spectaris. Spectaris right now is extremely strong, not only due to the fact that Galaxy is in the meta and Spectaris counters Galaxy, but Spectaris also counters any Alestral that relies heavily on its ability. Spectaris also counts as a 5 attacker and pairs well with Nobby due to the fact that it is a Lunar Alestral, so it doesn't get its -2 attack also. Spectaris is extremely strong and you need to have an answer for this card, otherwise you might just be looking at game over. Moving on, the next card we'll be talking about is the strongest Divine Rune in the entire game, and that's Zeus. Zeus is very strong for a few different reasons. First and foremost, it allows every single Alestral to walk over the targeted Alestral in combat, not just one such as Demeter does. The other reason is Cryoblast is extremely prevalent, and with Zeus, Cryoblast can kill anything that has less than 5 defense, making it essentially an oddly colored earthquake. So make sure that you don't overextend just because they might not have the quote-unquote ability to get over your Alestrals, because they might easily have a Zeus in hand and be able to flip the board on its head in that manner. The next card that you need to be looking out for is Hurricane. Hurricane is extremely strong due to the fact that on the turn that you play it, it allows you to essentially make sure that you're going to do whatever your game plan is, whether that's hard ascending into something, playing out Nobby, getting multiple effects off, playing a Viscerus, getting the attack through. Whatever you're going to do on that turn, it is going to be successful. Hurricane is extremely strong, especially if you don't respect it. I personally didn't respect it last tournament, and the only 2 games I lost were games that I got destroyed by Hurricane. So I would just make sure that you are actively paying attention to whether or not your opponent's on this card and whether or not honestly, you just need to be playing around this card at all points in time because they can very easily side this in and just wipe your entire back row if you're not careful with it. First sideboard card that you need to be aware of is Divine Blessing. Divine Blessing is extremely strong right now due to the heavy amount of invoke runes that are being played, such as Earthquake, Ambrosia, anything in the Blistrix deck to be honest. And then you've got cards such as the previously mentioned Hurricane, which it also counters. Divine Blessing is extremely strong in its diversity, and it is a card that you need to be aware of when playing in the games. The second sideboard card that we'll be talking about is Spoiled Fruit. Spoiled Fruit is extremely strong, not only due to the fact that it negates healing, but it also destroys the card that is attempting to heal. So decks such as the current Solar variation that wants to play into Draco Ray can easily be destroyed by this. Not only that, but Blistrix decks also need to be aware of this due to the fact that people might side it in to prevent you from healing on any of the amount of spirits that you have blown through to get to your combination. So just be aware that Spoiled Fruit is floating around out there in a lot of people's side decks. And the final card that you need to be aware of when trying to top 8 this weekend is none other than Aster Rabbit. Aster Rabbit's extremely strong with its big butt and its ability to search the top 3 cards and find the most advantageous one. If you don't have an answer for this card, it can easily run away with games. I know this from experience, as 100% of my last tournament's outcomes were determined by who utilized more Aster Rabbit effects. So just make sure that you have a proper answer for this card, and it's not allowed to just sit on the board and control your entire game. And those are the top 8 cards that you need to look out for when trying to top 8 this weekend. I'm Constellation Gaming, and I hope you have a good run this weekend. Good luck and peace.